Well, I'm only 1 hour late. If you can imagine that. Hang on a second. Let me do something here. Wait a second here. You just hold on a second. You just hold on a second. Where the heck did I see this? Let's see here. Gotta make some adjustments here. Alright, where are we? Oh, here we go. Yeah. Okay. If I was to tell anyone what I've gone through to figure out why I wasn't broadcasting live at 6 o'clock like I said I was going to be, and I'm sure I lost everybody, and that's fine. If you see this later, believe me, it's entirely your fault, not mine, that I completely screwed up. Where's my, oh, there you are. Yeah, what a nightmare. My stress level, if it was any higher, I'd be standing naked on a rooftop, multiple-story rooftop, with a falcon crest on my head and an orange ball in my mouth. Maybe with a crossbow or something. Because I am really stressed out. It's led me to start drinking again. Alright, so if there's anybody left, come on in here, man. I mean, I apologize. You guys probably gave up on me. But while we're waiting, I'm going to show you the best invention ever made by humans. The back scratcher. High quality stainless steel. There ain't nothing like a back scratcher when you need your back scratched. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Yeah, that's the only reason I got married, because I was telling my wife, I don't know how single guys do it. I really don't. I mean, a good back scratcher, that you can't pay for that kind of stuff. You know, and women have a natural tendency to be able to like locate pimples and things like that. I mean, it's just like they can't stop themselves. So.
Wow, I came in at the perfect moment here.
Yeah, you did. Can you believe it's taken me an hour, literally. It's 7:01, an hour to get back here. So, am I on the right channel?
I have no idea. It popped up in my Google circle for you. It's still not showing you broadcasting live.
Oh, really?
It popped in on an invite. Oh wait, it is showing you now.
Okay,
because yes.
I literally had to register the same way I did the first, you know, with the other channel. So that whole other thing was on a different channel.
Yeah.
So I had to get a verification number sent to my cell phone, and I'm gritting my teeth and cussing, and oh man, what a nightmare.
I said, all right, he gave up.
Oh, I'm sure everybody gave up. I don't blame them.
Let's an hour later, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, being an hour late is fashionable, isn't it? I mean, that's not bad. No, actually, I'm a stickler for being on time. I can't stand being late. I mean,
I am too. I'm always on time, if not early. So.
Well, we were just talking about that in the house here. I'm like almost like, if I go to the movies, if I'm not there a half hour early, I don't even want to be there.
You have to get a good seat and popcorn, and you know.
Exactly what I was just saying, because my daughter and her boyfriend, literally, they'll be standing here, and I'm like, what time does the movie start? Oh, 10 minutes. And I'm like, are you serious? You guys will show up that late? So,
you know, out here, they have drive-ins still.
Wow.
They have drive-ins up here. I am really enjoying that. I haven't seen that since I was like a kid.
Oh, yeah.
It's $25 for a carload, and we take off, and it's double features. It's like awesome. We go like, I don't know, at least once a month we go out there to see a movie. It's really awesome. You just lay in the back of the car. I have a Subaru Forester.
Yeah.
Just open up the hatch and we lay in the back and watch movies. It's great.
Yeah, the very first movie I ever saw at the theater was at a drive-in theater, and it was Planet of the Apes. Yeah.
I think I seen Heavy Metal.
Oh, God. Oh, okay, so you're younger than me, because I remember Heavy Metal came out just when I was going in the Army.
Well, how old are you?
Well, today's my birthday, actually. I'm 52.
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, 52.
I'm 52, too. I'm
well,
the same as you.
Heavy Metal.
Actually, I'm older than you because I was born in March.
Oh.
March 17th.
Yeah, I remember Heavy Metal when I was in the Army. It was like I was just going in the Army. You must have been 18 when that came out.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Heavy
First one
metal.
I
Now you got that song stuck in my head.
Yeah, that's the first thing I seen in a drive-in was heavy metal.
Wow.
Yeah, it was good.
And we thought that movie was so like heavy and advanced and
Yeah, it was great. I still own it, as a matter of fact. I have the movie. It's good.
gosh, man, I think I saw that in South Carolina or Georgia or somewhere.
I was in New York still. Yeah.
Oh, hey, I know what I'll do. Let me send this link out to Twitter again.
Oh yeah, good idea.
I'll just copy this address bar.
Yeah, but it's finally showing you live. Here, wait, let me switch over. Yeah, it is. It's finally showing you live.
Okay, that's cool, man. Well, that's good. This way I could pretend like I had like 5,000 people. Hey, I wonder what is the limit, I wonder, to how many people can even fit in one of these things?
I really don't know. I'm not
Because
sure.
I mean, people use them for town hall meetings and, like virtual town halls.
Yeah, I use Skype, so
Yeah, me too. I love Skype.
yeah, that's what I use. I use Skype.
Okay.
Oh, you just popped up with a skeleton, or
Really?
whoever, or someone else just came on.
That might be somebody else.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let's try this again.
J Doe, hello. I don't know if he doesn't have a mic, I guess.
Let me see. I got my other screen open up. Okay, where do you see? Oh, yeah, J Doe. Wait a minute. He's got a mic, doesn't he? Let me see.
Oh,
Maybe not. Okay, yeah, because I just got a thing about messages. Here we go.
mic,
Uh,
yeah.
okay, yeah, he's saying he doesn't have a mic or video. Okay, cool. I'm going to tell him I was on the wrong channel for a while. Started. I was.
See, you thought no one loved you. You pop it on the right channel, and here they come.
I know. So now I feel just a little bit better. I have plausible deniability here. I'm trying to get on my iPad. Uh, I I can hear and see you. Oh, okay, that's cool. Well, I don't even have to write this. I can just say that's cool, right? Okay, so if you heard me say that's cool, give me a letter Y. Yeah, here. Okay, that's cool. Um, yeah, let me just bring him up to speed. I've got like 4 YouTube channels, and when I jumped on this thing at almost 6 o'clock, I was on the wrong channel. So she found me. I don't know. You found me because of the Twitter broadcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was sitting here thinking everybody hated my guts, which may be the case. I can handle that. But nobody joined, and it was until about, I don't know what, 20 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, I figured out I was on the wrong channel. So I had to go reapply. I'll probably tell the story again if anybody else. I'll wait till we get like a full house of 4. And then, yeah. But that sucks, man. It's weird that you can see and hear, but you can't.
He doesn't
Oh,
have
wait.
a.
Oh, because he's on his iPad. That's right.
Yeah, I could put it up on mine as well, but mine has a mic built into it, so
Hey, wait a minute. Yeah, I thought. Yeah, my iPad has a mic.
it's like a real small one. So I just put you
Yeah.
on the computer.
JD, are you sure you can't broadcast on the iPad with just the built-in mic? Huh.
Well, I have a headset for it too, so I have like 6 of them. I have them all over the place.
Oh, this is one of my. Speaking of technology, one of my birthday presents was this thing today. My wife got me this Nike. What's it, like a power band or something? Let's see. I would have to use my son's computer. No, don't do that. That'll start a family fight, and then I'll be held responsible because you'll screw up his computer, and then his games won't work. But yeah, this thing here, man, this is pretty cool. Are you familiar with this?
No. What
Yeah.
is it?
Well, it's actually what's the word? It syncs into my phone, my smartphone, and into an app on the computer, and it keeps track of every step you take. It's sort of like a workout thing. So I'm sure this will last like 2 lifetimes because it's strapped to me. I checked it just a minute ago. I've taken 11 steps today, and I burned a half a calorie. 11 steps. That's as far as I've gone today, and I'm exhausted.
Can anybody else track it?
No, no, no. I mean, I guess it's whoever's, you set it up, like you put in your weight and your height and your age, and it gives you goals, and it's like, but it's weird. It's got like a little button. I don't know if you can see this, but it's like if you press it, it's all digital. Like that's the time. If you press it again, it says fuel. Here again, it says fat slob. Why are you on the computer? Should be out walking. You know, that kind of stuff. That would be actually cool to have one that like would that would that be cool to have one that like be rated the person wearing it? It's like, what is your malfunction, fat boy? You've been on the couch for 2.6 hours. Move it, move it.
A neighbor of mine had a cow in her refrigerator, and every time she opened the door, it would moo at her and call her a fat cow, and then she would close the refrigerator door. I used to laugh.
Wow. Wow. You know that's actually a good idea. I bet if I put a picture of myself naked on the fridge, every one of my family would be skinny.
Oh, wow.
Because they'd be reaching for a donut and they'd be like, whoa, whoa.
That's too much info.
Oh, man. Well, this is a strange group. We got one that can hear and see but can't speak. We got you and me, which you're like the most loyal because you showed up. You were the first one the last time. And I'm wondering what's going on with, I'm so bad with names.
I'm interested in what you have to say. You always have such good conversations. So
Well,
it's
that's
like
that's nice.
the one that got me was your video on where to go if you have no place to bug out. And that was the first video that I saw, and I said, "Oh my God, I like this guy." And then I started watching your videos, and then I subbed. Sorry, I have a little room that has my computer in it, and I actually have a refrigerator and a coffee pot.
Oh, yeah, hey, I don't have a pot, but I'm.
So you can tell how often I leave my computer. I got everything right here.
Are you? Well, let me ask you this: are you sitting on a bedpan? Because that's when you're really
No,
serious.
no, but the bathroom is right behind me. I don't have to go very far. So I'll
Wow.
put a little bit of milk in my coffee and.
Well, not to get morbid, I don't want to get morbid, but when I was a cop, I can't tell you how many people we found dead sitting in front of a TV. So whenever I sit in front of the TV, I always want to put a tag on my toe and leave everything except the date and time, like to help the cops out. You want to be like a considerate guy in case I have the big one. You
Yeah.
know, because I used to think to myself, man, you got to really worry about when you're living alone. You got to worry about things like that. You don't want to be like one of those dead bodies they make fun of. So I'm always trying to be like in a cool position so that if I die, I have like that cool look, like I knew I was going to die anyways.
I don't know. If I knew I was gonna die anyway, they'd probably find me in the middle of a mosh pit or something, just
Oh,
just,
wow.
just having fun.
Well, that came out of nowhere. I think you want to talk about that. So, mosh pit. How long have you had this fantasy of a mosh pit?
Actually, years and years ago, I guess it must be like 15, no, maybe not that long. Yeah, maybe about 15 years ago. My son wanted to see this group called Guttermouth, and they were playing at the Fly Theater in Jesus, I don't even remember the name of the town, but it was in California. So I took him to go see it, and I had the leather on, and the whole thing, and I was standing there watching it, and I got bumped and fell in to the mosh.
Yeah, right.
My son dove in and started
You
like.
were crowd surfing.
There was like a million people in there, and my son dove in, and I mean, I think I was more amused by watching his reaction as he was scared. He thought I was going to get hurt, so he dove in there, and he's like, "That's my mother, you asshole!" And he's punching people trying to grab me and pull me back out. But
Well, okay, hold on. But we need to back up a little bit.
hey, I could not get up until I like swallowed like four naproxen before I could get out of bed because I
Well,
hurt.
yeah, but you said you tried to gloss over the fact that you showed up wearing leather.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I caught that. So you deserved everything you got.
Well, you had to be part of the crowd. Where are you going to go there showing up like you're an old lady in a.
Yeah, you know what, man?
No,
Yeah, I know. You're like leather.
not gonna go. Yeah, yeah, that doesn't fly.
Can you see
That, that,
JD?
that, and I wouldn't embarrass my kids, so.
No, 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 no. I'm sure. But can you see the chat box?
Yes.
Okay, okay, cool,
Oh,
cool.
leather?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, hey, Jawbone, welcome. Jaw, is it Jawbone? He's in the house.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
JJ. Hi, JJ.
Yeah, you see, I could never do the mosh pit thing. I don't have the
Well,
temperament
it
for
wasn't
it.
intentional. I got somebody behind me shoved, and I went over.
Did you end up? Were you crowd surfing on top of people's hands as they passed you
No,
around
no,
like
I
a hot
hit the
biscuit?
floor. No, I hit the floor like a sack of shit. I just went down, boom, and it was like trying to stand up and just live. And it was funny because the second I went over, he dove in right behind me and was like trying to beat people away from me so I didn't get hurt. So, but that was my son. He was very protective of mom.
See, I couldn't do it. I've seen, I've seen a lot of mosh pits, and I honestly think I'd probably be doing federal time if I just don't understand the whole, hey, I'll punch you as I'm running by, and that's cool. I mean, I don't think Irish people could do that. That's just like there'd be like a murder in there.
Yeah, there probably could be. You never
I
know.
don't know.
Um,
Okay, so
yeah.
let's go on. What's happening with Jawbone? Are you on? Can you hear?
I am not sure. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, man, you got like that sexy Demi Moore voice going. I like it. Yeah, no, you're loud and clear, brother.
That's great.
Now I don't see a video. Are you broadcasting or you got your camera off?
This is the first time I've actually had to go through a lot of hoops and flaming circles to get here.
Brother, well, listen, we were just talking about it. I didn't even get on until a few minutes ago. I was on the wrong channel broadcasting from some other account, and I had to go through everything you went through just now to get on. It was
okay.
Yeah, so I mean, you probably had to verify your account with a number.
It was amazing.
Yeah,
it was amazing, but it seems to be working somewhat.
Yeah, it's working good, man. You sound good. Okay, well, I'm already out of control here. So there's like 4 people, and I'm feeling stressed. My God, who are you people? Okay, wait, let's see here. Let's see. Wait, how come Woozle, you got 2 pictures going? Woozle? What happened? Did she disconnect? Oh, her computer crashed. Okay. I got it. Okay, because she was on there a second ago, and then she fell off. Well, how you doing, man?
I am doing well. How's everyone here?
Good, good. Just I'm sure that well, I don't know. I can't say there's a crowd, but whoever thought it was going to be at 6, like I had said, is probably given up and gone away because either I wasn't there, or they gave up going through the same shit you just went through. I can't believe how hard it is to get to this thing. I mean, unbelievable. Now, the last time I did it, it was a total accident. There was a little advertisement popped up and said, hey, you want to broadcast live? I hit a button. I went, holy shit, that's easy. Well, this time it was a whole different ball game. So, yeah. Let's see, she should be coming back on. Now, Jay Doe, he can hear and he can see, but he can't broadcast. Or he doesn't have a camera. He's on an iPad.
Yeah, I've seen him in my feed many times.
Yeah, me too. I have too, and I don't know why my camera keeps going out. It's weird.
Yeah, it is interesting. It's probably as much as your computer can handle.
Yeah.
Sort of deal. Of course, you got a Mac. You got a Mac. It should be fine.
I do, but oddly enough, funny you say that. Day before yesterday, for the first time since I've had this Mac, which is about 2 years, I started getting this message saying that I'm out of application memory, and so I Googled that, and I'm not a computer dude, but I guess it had something to do with RAM,
right?
Which I thought was a football team, so I gave up on it after that. But I deleted a bunch of things, and I'm still kind of working on it. I think I'm maxed out on RAM, and that might affect some things.
Go down and buy yourself an updated. It's hardware.
And how do you install it? I mean, is it something I need to remove the?
You could do it. You could do it, your guys. They'll know exactly what to do.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Or what's the other one? I don't even know if they still have the Geek Squad. Is that still going?
Yep.
Oh, cool.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Many windows open.
All right, man. So if you feel comfortable saying, what part of the country are you in? Because we were talking about, we were just getting ready to talk about bug outs.
I'm in Washington State, right below Mount Rainier.
Well, okay, right off the top of my head, I would say you're in like my favorite state. I love that place. And as long as Rainier doesn't blow, it's a volcano, right?
It is.
Yeah, as long as that doesn't blow, you're good to go. But I mean, as far as like a place to be, I love it. I mean, how long have you been out there?
Actually, for the first thing, if I was to go one way or another, I'd rather have the mountain take me.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah,
and we've been here since 1998, but I was raised on the Big Island of Hawaii, so I have sort of gone back and forth from here to there over the last.
You weren't there then when Mount St. Helens blew. I mean, you may not even have. I don't know how old you are. You may have just been a little boy when that happened, because I was.
Family was here. I wasn't here personally, but my family was here.
Man, I'll tell you what. I lived in Hawthorne, California when that thing blew up, and that is a long way away. That's south of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And I will tell you that every car in the neighborhood had an inch of ash on it. I mean, it was just like. I mean, if you can believe, that's how far that shit went. I mean,
well,
shut down traffic, everything.
Yeah, I guess the ash was here as well, and we're pretty far away from it.
Oh man, yeah, and I think, and there was, I know a few people, quite a few people lost their lives, but one guy in particular you reminded me of him when you said that. He was a guy that was warned to leave, and he said pretty much the same thing, and man, he was at ground zero. I mean, when that thing went.
Right.
But wow, that was something else, man.
Yeah, here we live right in the zone. If it does happen, we probably won't make it.
Wow. They were, for the longest time, you could buy statues made out of the compressed ash of that thing.
Right.
Yeah, I got a statue of a whale for my mom or something back then. But yeah, I mean, what is, like, are you into like prepping at all, or do you dabble in it?
I do as much as I can afford, and as much as I can educate myself, I am into it. For me, it's more of a state of mind thing. Right. We are probably above average on what you're talking about, though.
In terms of being prepared.
Exactly. As far as firearms, food storage, water storage, the ability to filter water, medical supplies, we're probably a little above average. I'm not sure how the average prepper, how well they are prepared, actually.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I've always, your first thing you mentioned was the state of mind. Man, that's everything. I think without that, all the other just doesn't matter. I mean, there's so many people. I don't know if there's so many people. Strike that. A lot of the people I meet off of the internet, in the real world, just. It's sort of a head in the sand attitude. Like they feel uncomfortable even talking about it.
Right. You were a paratrooper, so you know when you're up in the remote areas with your buddies and you get into some adverse circumstance, the last thing you want to do is bring everybody else down with your attitude. Yeah. And I'm sure you've been trained on that, and that's got to be important. I mean, since the Marine Corps wrote the book till now, that's been something that's gone over and over and over again. So it's got to be important.
Well, it's that, and you were a Marine then, yeah?
No, I was a 7th Light Infantry Division. I was just a straight leg.
Nice.
Sort of not the most desirable outfit, but I was there in that sense.
Yeah, no, but you hit on some good stuff though, because one of the things that comes with that habit, and it's the same in law enforcement, is always going through the what if scenarios in your head.
Right.
Where a lot of people make the mistake when I talk live to people about that, they misunderstand that and misinterpret that as being paranoid, that I dwell on it, which is, as you know, that's not the case. Dwelling on something and thinking about it is totally two different things.
Yeah. There's the training again, and there's the perspective. Wow, that was pretty weird.
Yeah, that was cool. Hey, how's it going? Okay, I see Jay. Hey, what's up?
Turn up the volume. Good. How do you turn up the volume? I can't hear.
But I hear you good. You're good to go.
He needs a set of headphones.
Oh, never mind. I found it.
Yeah, I'm on chat.
He's going to create a feedback loop.
Oh, you know what? I wasn't. Okay, here we go.
Okay, I'm not working.
There we go.
I can hear.
Oh, okay.
All right. Hey, what's going on? There are
thanks. My son gave me his computer.
Far too many J's going in here. We got J Doe on the chat who can see and hear. We got J Joe. Hey, slap that kid. You go stand in the
I
corner.
can. They'll take his computer back.
Yeah. How you doing, man?
Good, thanks. Thanks for the invite.
Oh man, thanks for showing up. I'm amazed you did. I'm an hour late. It's a long story. Yes. We were just talking a little bit about prepping and sort of the attitude. So, wait a minute, let me see here.
Yeah, I was listening while I was trying to get it.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I was listening while I was trying to hook up to it.
Yeah, so it's funny because you're on my window. I've got JJ and then J and then J Doe. So my head's gonna explode. I have no idea who I'm talking to now. If one more J shows up, I literally will just I'll implode. Yeah. Now, I'll tell you now, Woozle, quit snorting cocaine and what are you doing over there?
I'm just hacking over here.
I don't know. That looked like some kind of illegal going on. She has brought up. You have a question. Why don't you ask your question to all of us? Because I want to make sure I get it right regarding bugging out.
Oh, what do you look for when you're trying to purchase a piece of property for a bug out location? I want to know what exactly should I be looking for before I buy something.
Anybody want to take that?
Have you ever heard of Joel Skousen's, what the heck, Strategic Relocation is the name of the book.
Who's the author?
Joel Skousen. It's JoelSkausen. He's a longtime authority on this question she's asking. And the name of the book is Strategic Relocation.
Got it. And I would bet, I'd be willing to bet that it talks about one of the first things, and I had mentioned this to her, I think it was on Twitter, but the first thing that comes to my mind is prioritizing water, of course, because you can't really do much without water. Food, security, does it go down along those lines?
Joel focuses on the prime locations, like she asked, what type of property would I look for?
Yes.
He focuses, well, number one, he focuses on your budget. I mean, what's realistic. Number two, within your budget and your geographic area, what would be the best place to look? He's an expert at it. He's been doing this for years. He builds high-end security fortresses for people of means. That's what he does for a living.
Wow. Okay, and budget is always probably the very first thing, and that's what I run into a lot. If you read the comments of some of the videos that I've put up, not everybody has the budget to move across the street, let alone into a place that would be safe and reliable. Because there's so many different factors. I mean, until you have a bug out situation, people still have to go to work.
Exactly. And he covers that. He'll actually cover that with. You can go to Joel just type in Joel Skousen into Google or any search engine. His stuff will pop up.
Hang on one second. I'm trying to fit. It's funny because I have everybody adjust their volume except one. That's weird.
Yeah, I'll adjust mine here. I'm going to turn
I got
it down.
earplugs in.
No, you're good to go, Jack. You're good. I'm trying to. Why do I only have? I just got 3 peoples. Wait a minute.
We lost John Doe.
I wish it was locked up.
Yeah, it's funny because I have a volume for him. And he was, it's actually Jay. I'm trying to figure out. Yes. All right, hey Jay, can you hear me?
Ooh, give me that cord.
Let me see something.
Now I'm all set up. I need a power plug.
Oh, I know it all.
Dies out. Yep.
Okay, cool. Okay, this is weird, man. I hear a 50 cal shooting outside my house.
Was that your house? I thought it was the fireworks outside my window.
It sounds like it's.
You muted J. Doe.
Did I mute him? Okay, hang on a second. I was trying to turn him down. Hang on. How do I get him?
Isn't even up there anymore. Well, he was the one that couldn't talk anyway.
Wait a minute. How do I get him? Jesus, hang on. Wait. Are you Jake? Don't give up on me, man. I muted him accidentally.
He can hear you, I think.
Yeah, but I can't unmute him. That's the weirdest thing. Hang on.
Can't get your arrow to show up?
No, it's listen, man. There's no. It says muted, but there's no. Wait a minute. When I click it, it just disappears. God damn it. Wait, I think this is it right here. Hang on a second. This is sort of a fill-out session for me. I hope you guys don't mind that I'm absolutely
Nobody minds, man.
inept. Oh, thanks, man. Okay, Jay, don't get mad at me, dude. I'm trying to unmute you. Okay, everybody just stay calm. We're going to get through this together.
He can hear you. He gave you a thumbs up.
Okay, cool. All right, hang on a second. Okay, here's my options. Hide from the broadcast, profile, eject, and then it says muted, but that's not colored in. That's light. And I can't unmute him.
Huh.
Mike, can you hear me? This is Walt.
It's forever.
Yeah, Walt, there you are. I see you, too. Welcome, brother.
Okay.
Okay, I had to restart.
His name?
Wait, I'm sorry. What, Woozle?
No, I was just gonna say if you go over his picture, and then click on the little the drop down arrow thing, and it says muted, and maybe you can click that and unmute him.
Okay, you're not going to believe this. You're talking about the list of pictures on the side?
The ones down on the bottom of your screen that show all of us. If you go
Oh,
over,
yeah.
it's like a little.
Okay, no, he's good now. He's unmuted now. All right, Jay, stop talking bad about us. We can hear you. Okay, hey, Walt, welcome.
Walt here.
Welcome, brother. Sorry you got off to a late start.
Okay, I had to restart the phone 2 times. It didn't work. Finally, I did the old low-tech pull the battery out and make it reload its basic, its basic DOS or Windows or whatever, and it started, and I could connect.
Nice. I'm glad. The more trouble you had, the less frustrated you'd be with me, because I had basically started broadcasting on the wrong YouTube channel. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've been listening to you on the wife's channel.
You just got abducted by an alien, man, mid-sentence. You disappear. Can anybody hear Walt?
No.
Walt,
I cannot hear.
Walt, you got taken away, man. I'm going to
On
miss
and
you.
off.
It always happens to the... What I need to do is get better at this control panel here, so I can, All right. Well, hey, listen, Walt, if you can hear me, you're one lucky SOB. No, I'm just kidding. If you can hear me, man, we're kind of in the middle of a discussion about bug out locations, and Woozle was wanting to know what to select. I hear myself. What the hell? Are you guys catching that delay?
Yes.
Sounds cool. I get to hear what I sound like. Hang on a second. Let me enjoy it. No, I'm just kidding. So, Woozle, we haven't even begun to answer your question, have we? Okay, I'm going to mute you again, Jay. That's it, man. You're going into the cornfield. Because we can hear the broadcast.
He's creating the feedback. It's a set of headphones.
It doesn't mean we don't love you. We do love you. Okay, so yeah, Woozle, what's going on with the with our I'm so scatterbrained right now. I muted Joe. Oh great, tell the world I muted him. I was trying to do it secretly. It's not because I don't like you, man. It's because we can hear ourselves. Now just hold on a second. I'm gonna unmute you in a second. Woozle. Hi.
Hi.
Okay. So
Getting a little bit.
Now let me ask you something. Do you have a piece of property, or are you literally looking for one?
No, I'm looking, but I'm asking what attributes on this property should I be looking for?
Okay, without getting too personal, and don't give any information you don't want to give. But like, is your budget? Because everybody's budget's different. I mean, some people literally have no budget. Do you have a budget?
No, I have little, very little.
Enough to where you're thinking of purchasing a piece of land?
Yeah, I want to get like maybe 2 acres or something.
Yeah, see, that would be sweet, man. And you want to be up in the northeast, right?
Right.
You know, have you done any searches at all for just? Are you looking for a piece of property that has a dwelling on it?
No. I want to put my own on it. I'm just looking for raw property. So I want to know exactly what it is that I should be looking for like a bug out location, like, I don't know, water table, how
I'll tell you this.
Or water, you know.
I'll tell you something. When and anybody, just feel free to interrupt, man, and talk over me if you think of something. But the thing that comes to my mind with the location is, and how do I make this a little more concise? When you invest in a piece of land, and let's assume that nothing ever happens, which would be a good thing because none of us want the world to collapse. But if that were the case, you don't want to be an old lady dying thinking, man, I could have had a better piece of property, and here I waited for the end of the world and it didn't come. So what I suggest is that you get something that you can still use and that you enjoy having.
Something that I can retire to.
Yeah. Okay.
Retire from work that I can go there, and that will be my home.
And here comes and this, I'll be interested in what other people have to say, and I'll shut up. But like when I bought our piece, we got the 12 acres up in the mountains. Okay, I didn't want to be right off of a road that had traffic coming back and forth because everyone could see your place, and I didn't plan on being there very often. So I didn't want it so remote that somebody could go in there and just ransack it and live there and squat there, and I wouldn't know it until I showed up and there's 20 Hell's Angels in there in a meth lab. So you have to kind of consider that a little bit. Do you have, like in my case, I've got some neighbors that know my situation and they can see my access road. So nobody can get on there without them knowing it. And then they would go over and challenge them. So there's people living there year round, yeah? And I don't know what the price range is up in the Northeast because I haven't looked, but we found this place and it was on the internet for that local area, just running, just searching land, and we were fortunate that it had a cabin on it. But anybody got any ideas to throw in there in terms of what she should be looking for?
I'm no expert. I gave out the Joel Skousen advice. That's the best information I've ever come across on this subject.
On that book, yeah, and I hope you wrote that down, Woozle. I did. If you didn't.
Yeah, I have it. Yeah, I had it written down before. I just haven't read it yet. But yeah, I was on another channel that they recommended that book.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the best sources of information available on your question.
I don't want to be so far remote that I can't get to a town if I get sick or whatever.
Right.
But I want to be far enough away to where I'm not somebody's first choice to ransack their place,
Yeah, I'm trying to unmute you, Jay, while we're talking here. Hang on. You guys keep talking while I try to unmute him. This is
looks like he has headphones in again. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm going through that same thing. Maybe it just takes a while. Let me click it and then leave it for a second. I think that's what happened last time. Walter, can you hear? Uh-oh.
No, he's muted too. No, I'm kidding.
No, yeah, no. You're gonna start a riot. Get him! Get into the control booth. Oh,
I lost him anyway.
Yeah, I lost him too. He probably cussed me out before he left.
No, I don't think so.
No, but
feedback though, I can hardly hear anybody else.
See now, Walter, I don't hear him at all.
I actually turned my volume down just to make it easier for everybody else.
Oh, maybe I need to do. I bet I'm talking pretty loud. because I'm talking loud. Let me turn myself down. I've got tinnitus in my left ear, so I hear this loud ringing constantly, and it makes me talk really loud. Walt, can you hear us?
Blew out your eardrum.
I can see his lips moving, but I don't hear him.
Okay, while he's trying to come on, hey, can we send him a message? I don't even have a chat box. Walt, if you can hear us, he's waving.
Here.
He can hear.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to tell you, talking about the hearing while he tries to come back on or adjust his sound. I'm not saying that I was shooting illegal fireworks last night because I wouldn't want to say something like that. But somebody that looked a hell of a lot like me in my front yard was shooting some crazy, crazy fireworks. I mean, the kind I've never seen. I mean, I've had him for a couple. I mean, the guy had him for a couple of years. Well, so they're getting launched out of a mortar tube. These are huge, and each one had 3 explosions. So it would be like boom, 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 and 5 or 6 go off. Well, we all lost count, and one of them only had 2 booms. Now, I'm not good at math, but there's a boom missing. Where that little boom went was it landed in the tree in my front yard. And as I go walking by there, like 3 minutes later, it detonates, and I honestly thought I got sniped at by like ISIS or something. I mean, it was right in my bad ear. That's why they're dangerous, I guess I should have been messing with them.
Wear your glasses.
Yeah, yeah, boy, and of course I wasn't.
Tell your neighbor to be more careful where he shoots off his fireworks.
Yeah, whoever that weird evil twin is. Or whoever he is, yeah, he's always shows up whenever I get accused of doing shit. It's that guy. Yeah, so I can tell you that when we bought that little piece of property, man, I felt very fortunate because I've never been in a position really to be somebody that could go out and buy a piece. It's just things worked out. It was weird, man, where all of a sudden, we were able to do it, and just having it feel so good. And what I did is I kind of engineered it into a place that's like a weekend getaway too. I mean, I think one of my very first videos on LMS was me showing that property off. It's a really shitty video because I didn't have any idea what I was doing, and it's all the lighting is terrible when I go into the place, but you get an idea of it. And what's so cool about it is it's only 130 miles away, so
you could walk there if you had to.
Yeah, you could walk there if you had to. And now the other thing is that, and this is strange because, and not to digress too much, but I was activated during Katrina, so I was down there on 2 different deployments, and I was watching. I pay attention to things, and one of the things I noticed right off the bat was when the National Guard and the law enforcement start shutting down the freeways and the roads going in and out of these areas, and so that made me think later. If you don't read the tea leaves right, and I've covered this on a couple of videos, because like for example, Woozle, I don't know if you're gonna, I'm assuming you're gonna buy a piece of property and then continue to live where you're living, and then sort of just so you'll have 2 pieces. Well, what I do is I like to use it as a weekend place to go shooting or whatever. But I had to acknowledge the reality that things could turn to shit, and I may not be able to get there, and that's a scary thing because if I put all my resources up there, and then I get stuck here, then I'm bugging in, which I really don't want to do. But I've had to prepare a little bit here just in case I get stuck here.
See, if anything happened right now, I'd have to bug in because I have no other place to go.
Yeah,
and
see,
that's what I don't like. I mean, like I'm not in a city, but I'm in a neighborhood. So there's people all around me and that. But it's close enough to the city where if anything really happened, this would not be a safe place to stay.
No, and I will tell you from just, I was on the department during the riots in '92, and that brings me great fear to imagine that scene happening around my family because, it doesn't stay in the city. It spreads very quickly because, the poor people know that their neighbors are poor. They go kicking in the door next door in the projects. They're not going to get anything. Where do they want to go? They want to go to where they think everybody's rich, and in their minds, the suburbs are where that's at.
That's where I am. I'm in the suburbs.
Yeah, and the key is to read the tea leaves, man. And I have everybody has to have their own thing, because I understand I'm in a unique position where I'm not working. When I was working in D.C., God, can you imagine being trapped in D.C.? That would be insanity. But I had a plan to follow the railroad tracks home and just, slashing and shooting and gouging on my way home until I made it. But the thing is you have to have a certain preset line in the sand, so to speak, in your head, where if you see this or this and this happening, you're gonna bug out. And if you don't stick to that, you're selling yourself short. This is just my own opinion. For example, if I see civil unrest in an American city, and I hear it on the news or whatever, and let's say I'm at work or wherever, if I was still working, I would immediately, and I have these presets on my computer, email, and on my cell phone to send me information when there's a news event. There's all kinds of different apps that have these algorithms built in where they keep track of, you can adjust them, whether it's weather or civil unrest or a biological thing, whatever. And then with civil unrest, because that's what I fear, if it's happening in two places at once, that's condition red for me. If it's happening in multiple states, like 2 different states, and certainly 3, it's time to go. And the worst case scenario, hey, he's back. If the worst case scenario would be if I took the family and headed up to the cabin and then nothing transpired, what have I done? I missed a day or 2 of work, and we had a practice drill. And we could do an after actions and see what did we do right, what did we do wrong, did we leave the wrong shit at home? So I would suggest that kind of thing once you get a place established. You know what I mean? It will do you no good if you don't make it there on time. If you leave late, because you don't want to be on the road. I mean, I can tell you in Los Angeles during the riots, you saw some of those dead people in those cars. I mean, if you were the wrong color and you were driving down the wrong street, you got killed or attacked, and you don't want to be in that situation.
See,
Reginald Denny.
My only fear is that for right now, between me and where I want to be is Boston. And that's the last place that I want to be driving through,
Wow.
When something's going down, I don't want to be there. So
Well, is there multiple ways?
where I can go around, it's,
Have you studied that? Have you looked?
Go right through there, and it's like, that's not where I want to be.
Now, have you looked at maps and seen where there are alternative routes?
But I mean, it would time to skirt around. I mean, it would add a lot of time to do that.
Working, I got on the other computer.
Yeah, I would definitely do whatever it took to avoid going through a city like that.
Yeah. It's like I don't want to be anywhere near that.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we've done is look at multiple different routes.
I mean, when the Boston Marathon had that bombing, I couldn't go home. I mean, they had everything because I work in the city, unfortunately, not in Boston. I mean, close enough to it. That when the marathon bombings were going on, I was working anywhere. The police just had locked down. I was at work, and it's like, all right, I can't even leave. I can't get home. And that's my biggest fear, that something's going to happen.
Things got me muted.
That's
No,
You're not muted, Jay.
He's like, I think that jerk got me muted again. So, hey, where are you broadcasting from? What area? Jay?
Florida, Palm Harbor.
Oh, from? Did you say Florida?
Yeah, Palm Harbor.
Oh,
Pinellas
nice.
County.
I'm not familiar with Palm Harbor, but yeah, Florida is cool or nice. I guess
Yeah, Tampa.
Oh, okay. Roger that. Well, I'm glad you sound good, man. I'm glad you joined us and you got that straightened out. You sound good.
Yeah, sorry for all the interruptions.
No problem. This whole thing is just a real trial run for us, anyways. Just it appears that we're all pretty new to the whole Google Hangout thing. I know I am. So, this is awesome and very low key, and it's we could talk about underwater basket weaving or the best way to kill a man and get away with it. Just kidding. I'm just teasing. But his son's going, Father, who are you listening to? It sounds a little like Jack the Ripper.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have a place where we can go to get
bug out.
away. Yeah, no, we have to stay here.
Are you guys? Have you started prepping as far as bugging in?
We have some extra food and water. We got like 25 5-gallon
Contain-
things of water.
What's your closest water source to where you're living at? Like, I mean, do you have a fresh water source anywhere around, like a lake or something?
Well, fortunately, being in Florida, you got all the ponds here and there. The closest one for like a spring water would be
Yeah.
up the road, like a Weeki Wachee.
Okay.
Filtration.
Yeah, that'd be too far.
What were you saying, JJ?
I was just saying probably filtration for Jay, so you definitely don't want to get sick. If something was happening, you want to have the freshest, cleanest water you can possibly.
Yeah, that reminds me of something.
Right, we went and got the latest one, the Sawyer Mini, and then I got the Cataline. Probably
The
said it wrong.
Katadyn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually the best I hear is the Katadyn products.
What
Yeah, the next one,
what is that exactly, Jake? Is it like a straw, like a handheld?
No, these are a little bit bigger units. The straws are good because they're light and small, but they have a low overall production. Whereas some of the Katadyn units can just be cleaned in boiled water, and they produce water, clean water forever as long as you clean it.
How are you spelling that?
Right.
It's Katadyn, is it? Anything close to that, and it'll pop up in a search engine.
Get it close. No, thanks. I'll look into that because I have the straws for everybody in the family, and
Right.
I thought that was pretty cool. But
well, we got, like I said, well, here it is.
oh, okay. Yeah, that's
And you
bigger.
got- Right, you got the inlet here,
There you go.
outlet here, and you just pump it
Oh,
to get
nice.
your water through.
Yeah.
It's good for 13,000 gallons, but we got the Sawyer Mini. I'm looking to get the other Sawyer.
Right, the Walmart product. That's probably, if that's real, that's a really good product. That's a
How
lot of
much-
water.
How much did you pay for that?
This one was like, I'm trying to think, it was a couple of years ago, like $120.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, but
Um,
that's something you absolutely have to have.
Right, and this one we could put charcoal in it to help filter out the water even more.
Wow.
Right. Yeah, and in a pinch, you can always just take a bandana, take your fire charcoal, and literally run the water through it by
Right.
hand, any way that you can.
Right, and that's why we got the Mini Sawyer, because this one's good for 13,000 gallons. The Mini Sawyer is good for 100,000 gallons.
Oh man.
And
Yeah.
the micron is 0.1 on the Mini Sawyer.
Right.
The Cataline is 0.2. Now they have another one for
When I
almost the
read
same
those
price as this one.
outrageous numbers, it makes me think it can't be real. It's for sale at Walmart. I don't know if that makes it any more credible or not, but
Yeah.
if that's real, that's a really great product. That's probably your best, for the dollar. That's probably the best one you can find.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool.
You're
It's also
talking
made
about a
here in
lot of,
Florida.
yeah, you're talking about a lot of water right there, and
Right.
I honestly, and Woozle, I hope you're paying
Let me get
attention to these.
mini,
because-
I have
spot bag.
What do you got?
Actually, no, I'll just bring the whole bag out.
It's at the top. As soon as you open it, it should be right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have.
I've got the Vario myself, the Katadyn Vario.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I have a cream across the street, so.
Oh, very good. Yeah, because really, I mean, that without water, I mean, the rest of almost all the preps mean nothing if you die of thirst.
Right.
The want of water will make people go absolutely insane. I mean, they will go nuts. So I think you've done the right thing there, brother, with that thing. And I'm going to actually look into those because I have, like I said, I have the straw for everybody, but I still don't feel confident. I've got a creek in front of the cabin and a spring on the property. But for this location, I'm right next to the Potomac River. You can't really drink that water right out of the river. You probably end up with dysentery.
Right.
Where's his spot bag?
Gas key. Yeah, my son's gonna get the other one. But they have for pretty much the same price as the Cataline. They got the one from Sawyer was actually a water purification, where it will clean everything out, and that's about $130, I believe. And that one runs off a bucket.
And what's the name of it? Sawyer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to look into that. That's always been my number one concern is water. And then, as far as food goes, I don't know how you guys feel about some of these. You see a lot of it advertised now, but a lot of the prepped foods are very expensive. I mean,
yeah, they are.
They've jacked the prices up once it became popular, and so one of the things that we've done here at this location, and like I said, I'm 130 miles away from where my bug out is, but we procured these 55-gallon drums, but they're made out of really heavy-duty plastic, and we filled them with rice, and then we've sealed them out so that mice and things can't get into them. And I figure as long as you got a lot of rice, that's still cheap, and you can put a friggin' maggot in boiled maggots over rice and tastes good. I mean, as long as you got something that's going to fill up the kids and something that's going to fill, because a lot of it has to do with morale too. And then you get into the things like the real protein and things, so that they can, so that it's healthy. I mean, you may not. I know a lot of us have these visions of us hunting rabbits and having smoking them and everything. But in reality, that's not as simple to do. I don't think. I'm not a hunter, but I don't think it's that simple.
Well, it would be hard
to hydrate all my own vegetables, like to hydrate meat, and then I have Mylar bags, and I don't know if you can see it behind me. I have my sealer, and I seal it in my word, and yeah, I just put it away, so I make my own.
Well, one of the things we did was we bought, and again, it's we don't have a whole lot of money to spend on it, so when we get little chunks of money, we figure out what part of that can we use to get something. And one of the things we bought was a bunch of these, and I can't remember the name. It's
Oh, you're muted.
Someone muted you.
He muted himself.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
No, he's frozen. Oh, no, there he is.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. One of the things that I don't remember where I cut out, and I can't remember the word, but we invested some money in these seeds that are able to reproduce themselves. What is that called? They're
heirloom seeds.
Well, heirloom seeds.
Yeah, yes. And so we've got and those are they have a good storage life, and again they're able to to reproduce and you just have to have an area that you can grow things. And I mean, even up at the cabin, we're looking at. I've actually studied some of what the the Mayans and some of these people in South America that would terrace. They would farm on terraces because their civilization was on the side of in hilly valley. And that's sort of what our situation is. We're up in the Shenandoah Mountains. There's not a lot of flat land, so I've probably got maybe a half an acre of flat land, and the rest is going up the side of a mountain. But if you can afford to get bits and pieces of seeds like that, that's something I would suggest too, because now again, that's for the long term. I mean, you're not going to go plant them and eat them the next day. But
Right, unfortunately.
Go ahead.
Yeah, unfortunately, like us, we're very limited. We're living in an apartment right now.
Yeah.
That and being in the city, it'd be hard to conceal it.
How close to the Okefenokee are you?
Who?
The Okefenokee. How close are you?
Okefenokee, what's that?
That's a swamp in Florida. It's one of the biggest swamps in the United States.
Okay. Probably good 4 or 5 hours away.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That's like in the middle.
So
we're on the west side.
you're literally like a month away or whatever, on foot probably, whatever it is.
Yeah, they're about.
And you're living you're in the situation that most people are in, by the way. I mean, the average person is living in an apartment or a townhouse, and see, you've got the real challenge, man.
I think, unfortunately, if anything ever does pop off, like we're talking about, you're not going to be able to use the highway system. The government's going to have that shut down. Think of North Korea or Cold War East Germany or something. Envision that.
Even Katrina, like I said, they were shutting down the highway. The I-10 was completely shut down by the National Guard. Yeah, you're right, man.
Yeah.
That's why you got to get out before it becomes an issue.
if you're caught anywhere within 200 miles of a major highway, you're going straight to one of the camps. If that indeed is the scenario, I'm not saying I know, but
Right.
Yes, that's another factor down here in Florida. I mean, the only major highways is 95, 75, 19, and 4. Other than that, you're screwed. There ain't really no place for you to go.
yeah,
Oh,
I don't want you to go to the highway. That'll be the big message. Go to the highway. We'll take care of you.
here's
Think
that
of the-
mini Sawyer Mini.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Hold it up. Yeah, that looks cool, man. Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And it does come with a straw also. So you can use a straw. But, I mean, size comparison. This is $28 for 100,000 gallons. This is about
Right.
120 for 13,000.
Right.
Yeah, but actually, you could carry both of those. I mean, not. I mean,
Yeah.
they're both reasonably sized.
Right. Well, this one's going to go in my son's bag. So if we get separated or anything, he's got his own. I got this one. And then, like I said, I'm going to get that the actual purifier.
Your Katadyn is for sure going to purify the water. The other one,
Yeah.
I'm not 100% certain on that one. Maybe it does, and if it does, that's really great. But the one that you invested in for the 120 is for sure, absolutely going to service and function.
And you're basing
Right.
that on the parts per million that it filters out.
0.1
Is
on
that
the Sawyer.
yeah? Is that what you're basing that on, though, JJ?
Is this one what?
Well, I'm just wondering because he's well, hang on. Yeah, JJ, you were talking about one is for sure, and I'm just wondering what do you base that on?
It's just the old adage of if it sounds too good to be true, just be wary of it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Right. This
If that thing is real, it is the greatest thing since sliced toast. There's no doubt about it. But if it isn't real, man, I would hate to gamble when I really needed it.
Yeah.
Right. Well, in emergency, if we need it, we got it.
Yeah.
It's better than nothing. But it's something.
Now let me ask you this, Jay, what is it that, and I mean, this may sound like a dumb question, but I'm just looking at all possibilities. What is it that keeps you in Florida?
Family.
Yeah, I mean that's what I figured. If your whole family's there, that's the answer.
Right.
Because again, there's a fine line between paranoia. You don't want to disrupt your entire life because of something that might happen, because that becomes an obsession. Hey, I relocated to a small island off the Caribbean because the economy may collapse. To me, that's an extreme. Right. But if somebody's not anchored down with those reasons, or a job or something, that might be a good excuse to look for a better way out because of what you just said. You're shoehorned into that one spot.
Right.
So you're going to have to make do there. You talked about your son and you getting separated. What are your communications options? Do you because like I've invested in those little the Motorola radios have come way down in price, and they've got a nice range on them, even line of sight. Better than the walkie-talkies we had as kids.
Right. We have the family ones. I don't like them because they chew up the batteries real quick. So I got that Belfong, I think you pronounce it.
Is that a
rechargeable radio? Yeah, it's rechargeable, and I got an extra battery with it.
Yeah. Okay. See, one of the things that's cool. I have those as well. I've got 4 of those. But I also got on eBay a very cheap handheld CB radio, just for the hell of it. And you can plug it in the cigarette lighter and throw the antenna on top of the car or the truck. And it's kind of interesting because I can sit here at the house and listen to truckers on the road and listen to what sort of conditions are. Give you an idea of what you're heading into.
Right. That's what I was thinking of getting for the Suburban. Just put a CB in there. So if they have to leave.
Yeah, you'll be surprised too because, or maybe not, depending on what your radio knowledge is. But you can hear people talking all the way around the world. They're skipping across off of ham radios and stuff, and you're picking it up on your seat. Very interesting, crystal clear.
Yeah, I'm new to it, so I don't really know too much about it, other than just turn on the radio and listening.
Yeah, and just check out YouTube, of course, because for every subject that you're new to, there's going to be somebody that's made a video on the subject.
Right.
I just put the filters that I got in the chat, a link to it. If anybody wants to see.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, where's the chat at? I don't even have a chat box.
Should be on the right.
It's on the right.
On the right. Maybe I need to open up a different window. Hang on, because all I see is
Click your window button once. The maximize, minimize area there.
Okay, got it. Thank you. There you go. Okay, I see there's a whole conversation here. When is this guy going to get off the air? He talks too much. He lost his voice. I hate him. What is that thing on his cheek? It looks like a pimple. Yeah, it is. Okay, all right. That's why I went in black and white, because if I was in color, this thing right here has a life of its own. I've popped it 3 times. It just keeps on filling. It's like sort of Mount St. Helens. It just keeps on. Oh. All right, let's see here.
Yummy. No, I have little handheld ham radios for the same reason.
Wow, wow, okay. And what about your vehicle, Woozle? Because you've got a long way to go. Whenever you finally get a place to where you're gonna have your bug out, do you carry anything in your car now?
Yeah, I have a carry bag in my car. Yeah.
Okay, so we got to talk about the one subject that we've avoided, because we talked about water and we talked about location. I mean, what about protection without giving away things on the internet? I mean, have you considered that?
Yeah, that's something that I still need to work on. I still need to work on.
What are your plans in terms on? I mean, are you opposed to carrying a weapon? Are you guys allowed to carry weapons where you're not?
Yes, we are.
Good, good.
Unfortunately, I don't have anything too fancy. Just a small bow, compound bow, and some kukris. That's it.
Yeah. Well, you're in Florida. I think you guys are allowed to carry machine guns in Florida, aren't you?
Oh yeah, that's just for the gators.
Yeah. I know. If the looters don't get you, the gators will.
Yeah, but I heard they're real good eating.
Well, and there's a large supply of them too, I understand.
Not too much. Like around here, it's hard to find some wildlife. I'm just looking around. We have some squirrels and stuff. They're all right. There's not very much.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. Well, that's just in case you convert to Islam and you need to take heads off.
Exactly. Or zombies.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about all we have. I see
if it pops off, you will have an opportunity to scoop something better than you have now up.
Yeah, right.
If God, God willing, that's a crapshoot. When that happens, all the thin veneer of civilization falls away. Just roll the dice. Who knows?
Well, I'll tell you something, JJ. And this might be good for you, Jay, to think about. Now, I don't know if you saw this video I made on this topic, but one of the things here is that my neighbor, actually, he's a retired a Navy pilot. Actually, he injured himself in an injection and got out on a medical. But he came over one time, and I was surprised. He brought it up, and he wanted to just have a meeting and sit down and talk about it, and we did. And we mapped out sort of what our plans were if we had to bug in. And one of the things I'm suggesting is that maybe, if you could just get at least one neighbor or somebody that lives in the area that you trust, there's safety in numbers. It might work better if you had somebody else besides just you looking out for your whole family, because it sounds like you've got some kids in the house, and if you're the only guy taking care of the family, and it's really an ugly situation, you got to sleep sometime.
Right, and that's the thing. Who do we trust? I mean, we had talked about one.
What's that?
I'm sorry, JJ. Go ahead.
JJ, were you talking?
Yeah, I think he was. I think I cut him off by mistake. Sorry.
No, that's okay. No, there's a little bit of a delay. Don't worry. JJ, are you on? Radio check.
Here's the gun key.
JJ.
I think he's eating.
That sounds like a Dorito.
He's showing this ice in Southern California. Okay.
This is the cop.
Excuse me.
Under the bed, in the black gun case, is the AR.
That's the only one.
Yeah. And in that black case is the Tech 9.
Hey, go ahead, Mama. Just bring your phone. Go ahead.
Yeah, so, well, Jay, listen, while we're waiting for him, we're talking about like who can you trust?
Yeah, I was talking with my neighbor where we lived before, and they agreed. You start prepping, getting water and food and stuff. But unfortunately, that's what they did, is agree. And trusting them with all the information that we have, we were afraid the first thing they're going to do is come down to our house and knock on our door.
Stupid little swings.
Yeah,
Oh, there you go.
yeah, you gotta be careful with who you share the information with. That's something to think about too.
Right, because we don't know if they're going to be the ones to be knocking on the door or whatnot.
Well, one of the things that this guy and I talked about, which was pretty uncomfortable, I mean, not for me, but I think it could be for the average person, is, and I mean, not to get real graphic and gory, but, one of the things I think people don't realize, if you think of the worst case scenario, which I think
Longer than the AR-500. The what now?
The M10 is in the gun cabinet.
gun talk, I'm getting interested.
Yeah.
No, but let's say you had to, worst case scenario, you had to drop somebody in the driveway. What do you do with that? What do you do with the body? So I did a whole video on that. I don't know if anybody saw that.
Yeah. We just toss them in the woods out back real far.
Yeah, use them as bait.
Put it in your driveway as a warning to everybody else.
Well, yeah, no, that's we talked about that too, but
Driveway and say, there you go. Do you really want to come knocking on my door?
yeah, but the reality too though is it becomes a health issue, and I actually stirred up a lot of controversy on that video because I believed that you should document everything because eventually law and order is going to come back and we're going to be held accountable to our and a lot of a lot of people took me to task on this. I mean, people were pissed off at me for this, but I said you should, in our case we have an area where we could bury bodies, and that I thought each person should be buried, document, on this date and time. A car full of apparent gang members pulled into the driveway. They yelled out MF this, MF that, and I saw 6 guns, and I defended myself. I was in fear of my life. 3 left, and 3 were dead. So those bodies are buried in Section Bravo, and their identifications are whatever. And I thought later on down the road, when civilization is back to normal, you want to be able to live with yourself. You want to be able to say, hey, yeah, this is what I did, man. This is what I did, and this is why I did it.
Right. You want to document as much as you could.
A lot of people are like, hey, man, no, it's it's no holds barred. If you kill somebody, why would you want to give any of that information to the government? They're the ones that caused this whole thing to begin with, and blah, blah, blah.
SEAL team motto is hide and watch.
Yeah.
And there's a big reason. There's a reason for that, and it's real simple. You need to have your philosophy simple in that time. Mine is hide and watch.
Right, that's right.
Right.
But you got to get out sometime because I hear what you're saying and I agree with it. But I look at survival after the shit hits the fan in components. I mean, you have the initial beginning, which is going to be the worst because that's when the animals are going to go nuts, man. I mean, zombies are going to be going. Okay, then you've got everything's kind of settling down and you're listening to the radio. You made it to wherever you're going to be, or you stayed in the house. And a week or 2 weeks later, you're getting a feel for what's going on. Des Moines, Iowa is burning. Whatever. Then the part that I think a lot of people neglect to think about is the recovery. Talking about down the road, 2-3 months, a year maybe down the road. That's when things like having silver and gold. Now, gold would be for the absolute when everything's done and you need something to reinvest in your life. Because you can't go around trading gold for food or you're going to get killed. But I suggest, and I have in multiple videos, that people have the most recognizable silver would be the Kennedy 64 half dollar or silver dollar because it's pure silver and they know that, or 99.9 whatever. And that's something that you can trade, down the road as society's coming back together. Does that make sense?
Yeah, what year was that? 64?
Yeah, 1964 was the only year that they made the silver, the Kennedys.
And earlier, 64 and earlier, correct? Anything Pre and up to that date?
I did not know. I believe it was only 64, but I wouldn't swear to it.
I wouldn't know. I don't know.
I mean, that's
I know you can buy ounces of silver for awful cheap just right up the road today, right now, as we speak.
Yeah, well, I can tell you this, man. When I first started preparing for that aspect of the the aftermath, this is a couple years ago. I went on eBay and I just bought every 64 Kennedy I could, and I ended up with a ton, and they were $11 at the time.
I saw a video on YouTube, and this guy is some sort of he knows about money.
Yeah.
You can go into banks and ask for change in silver dollars, and he just does that, and he sorts out the ones you were talking about, and he's saving them.
Oh,
and he's collected an ungodly amount that way. Of course, he's got lots of money to do that with and time. So.
Yeah, well, I'll that is a great idea, because those $11 coins that I bought at one point were like $43 each. Now, I don't watch the silver every day, just that'll drive you crazy. But those coins have gone up to like $42, $43, and right now they're at about, I want to say they're just under $26, $27.
Right,
still,
that's not the intrinsic value. They're worth that because of what they are, whatever that is.
That's right. And I have an unbelievable amount of those, and to this day I still check out eBay, and when I can get them anywhere close, because they go up and down. I mean, if you can get them anywhere close to, $11, $12, they're worth it, because they're not going to drop under that. And of course, their real value of silver and gold is going to quadruple once aftermath. Once the dollar crashes, once society crashes. Now, the other thing is that when a lot of people, and I did my own self-educating on this, in terms of buying coins versus, ingots or, the little, what are those called, like the 1 ounce things of gold or silver, you got to look at it this way. Imagine yourself, and there's a guy by the name, I don't know if you've ever seen him. I almost don't want to tell you because you'll never come back to my channel, but this guy's awesome. I actually saw him on Doomsday Preppers. Which they actually asked me to be on that too, but I thought that was stupid to give away all your shit on the middle of that made no sense to me. But this guy's name is Southern Prepper. What I love about I love he does scenarios, and he'll do these like role playing scenarios, and he's just a really good guy. I talked to him on the phone once. If you haven't seen him, man, just go to his channel and just try not to forget me at Christmas, because you'll never leave. The guy's awesome. But what was I going to say? Yeah, so picture yourself, you're tired of the rice and maggot stew, and your vegetables aren't coming in, so you're going to go down the road and you're going to try and buy a slaughtered sheep or a couple of chickens. Well, if you go out there with a bar of gold, how do you do that? It's not practical. And if you go out there with just an ingot of silver, it's not practical. That's why you have to have the coins, and like even the gold coins. Now those coins are worth their gold, but they're also worth the value of the coin because they're all over 100 years old, that kind of thing. So you got to kind of think it through, and I would suggest that you have more spendable silver. I would feel safer going down the street with to meet somebody for a buy on cows or chickens or whatever with a pocket full of silver Kennedy. Than I would a pocket full of gold.
Your skills can keep you alive if you have no money.
Well, yeah, but who has? Not everybody has skills these days. I mean,
a plumber, they're gonna need anything you can think of. You might not think you have skills, but you may actually have skills, and it'll be just as good as money.
Yeah, that's a very good point. The skills and
barter system.
Yeah,
absolutely.
All plumbing for a side of beef,
And remember, the bigger group that you can align yourself with that are all like-minded and want to help each other, the better off you may be.
Yes. Yeah, and definitely you'll have to have something to offer, or they wouldn't let you in the group.
Yeah, maybe not. Politics will be in play even then.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's also another set of eyes for guard duty or whatever. I mean,
right. Yeah. You might not think you have skills, but you might be surprised when it happens. There's an old saying about that, and I think it was one of our forefathers, about your true calling is found when your metal is tested. I'm
Yeah,
I'm
no,
not
you're,
saying it right.
that's a good paraphrase. You're close.
Yeah.
That's very true. And hey, does anybody have any advice? And I hate to feel like I'm not trying to panic you, Jay, but you're sort of a metaphor for everybody that lives in a situation where they're surrounded by people that they don't necessarily know. You know, townhouses, apartments in the middle of the city. I had guys ask me privately, you know, hey, I live in New York City. We can't carry guns. We can't do this. What's your advice? You know,
Run.
yeah. What, JJ, what advice do you have for Jay in terms of what he could best do to enhance his survivability? Where, you know, given what we know about his situation.
That Okefenokee swamp would be where I would head.
Yeah, but man, he's a long way out. Wow.
Yeah, and if you're not familiar with living in the, I guess the swamp can be inhospitable.
Yeah.
I was stationed out near Kings Bay, Georgia, for a year. Wasn't stationed there. I was a civilian Navy investigator. But that swamp is spooky, but it's also got everything you need. If you you could run into it naked theoretically, and if you had enough of your wits about you, you might come back out okay.
Wow. That's I can imagine a
There's
family.
a lot of that down in Florida. A lot of swamp ponds and stuff.
Yeah, it's all around you. It's there. I never was in Florida. I was right there in Kings Bay, where you probably may or may not know that area. But it's very near Florida. It's right near Jax there.
Wow.
Jacksonville. We call it
okay.
Jax. Sorry.
Yeah, I've been to Jax.
Yeah, I've been through there.
Yeah.
See, New York City's worse than us.
There's a lot of open area out in that area. I went to federal firearms instruction course out there at FLETC, the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center, which is in Georgia, Glencoe, Georgia. But I flew into Jacksonville and drove to Georgia. I mean, it just seemed like there was a lot of open area out there.
There is. It's a lot bigger than it looks on the map. Yeah.
Yeah, insects, man, oh man, in the summer.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, you'd have to get used to that.
Mosquitoes with tattoos on.
Right.
It was great. Well, what do you guys think, man? You guys want to play Twister? I'm just kidding. What do you guys think about the viability, or if that's the right word, of using Google Hangouts? Is this something we should explore further, or is it just sort of a kind of a cool once every 6 years?
I like it too. It's fun. It's not quite as good as some of your vids. That's why I came, because of your vids.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
Yeah, but it is fun. I mean, it's kind of neat.
I wonder what the maximum. You know, I haven't had a chance. You know, today's my birthday, and I'm only saying.
Birthday.
Thank you. I didn't have a chance.
Birthday.
Thank you. When I made the date here, I forgot that this was my birthday, so I didn't get a chance. I had people over, and I had to get rid of them. So I was going to come earlier and really master this thing. And like one of the questions I have is, I wonder what the capacity is, because
I already got my expert.
What's that?
I already got my expert.
Oh, well, ask him. What's the capacity of this thing? How many people in a room?
How many people know?
On Hangouts.
He said, huh?
Yeah, that's what I expected. No, I'm just kidding. No, but on Google, like, I know that some politicians use it for, like, what do they call it? Like, town
hall.
Yeah, but what is it called? Like a virtual town hall. And so I figure there's got to be quite a capacity.
Symposium.
Yeah, I don't know how many people could be in here at once. That would
about like
that's a good
6
question.
talking, so I mean that's a lot. I mean, unless you have a big group of like 30, 40, I don't know if that would work.
That's what I'm wondering. Yeah, I mean, not that I'm so self-loving. I think I could get 30 or 40 people, but I imagine it'd be kind of cool though if you could do it and run it right, so that people stepping all over each other, because it is kind of interesting. Hang on a second. My site's going bad. Yeah.
Well, it's dark on the East Coast.
Yeah, it's getting dark.
Yeah, we still got some sun.
Well, what'd you guys do for the 4th? Were you guys doing what I was doing? Were you doing the illegal fireworks or no?
Yeah, we were just trying to console the pets. They were freaked out.
Yeah. You've seen Charlie, I'm sure, right?
Right.
My dog, yeah, he is terrified of thunder and fireworks, so he heads into where I am now, and he goes into the farthest bathroom, and it's really sad.
Right.
Yeah, my boys and my wife went to go see the fireworks. Last night I had to go pick up my pop from ER.
Oh, how's he doing? What happened?
Not too sure. That he's bleeding from somewhere. They don't know where. And he's quite stubborn, so he don't want to do any tests.
How old is he?
And 78.
Oh man, I just went through that with my dad. Man. So he's still bleeding?
Don't know.
You mean he just refused to go in for more tests, huh?
Well, the one test they told him that he had to have, they couldn't do because of his blood count.
Oh.
But he had to take the test. So, well, do I have to stay here or do I have to go take the test? Well, we need to get the test done. Okay, so when do we do the test? Well, we can't do the test. So it's kind of like, all right, well then get me out here and then I'll do it on an outpatient. So I guess he fought and kicked and bit enough, they kicked him out.
Well, how's he feeling now?
Oh, about the same. He's doing all right. He's home. He's in bed.
Wow, my father lives in Texas, and he's coming up on 80, and I don't know if you know what cellulitis is. I mentioned this on one of the videos, but man, Google it and look at the pictures and prepare to projectile vomit. It's unbelievable. I mean, kids, cover your ears. Balls get this big. No, I'm not kidding.
Oh.
His legs get this big, and they weep like this fluid, and oh my God, man! And then his legs turned black, and the skin was coming out. It was terrible. And then on top of that, he had a heart attack. So I was out there for a couple of weeks, and you know, he was getting to the point where it's hard to take care of his golden retriever, who's 11 years old. So we've got her here now. So now I've got 3 dogs, which is the most I've ever had in my life. It's kind of cool. And
that's right. We got 8.
You live in an apartment with 8 dogs?
Well, we had 2. The mother and father, they had pups, so we kept the 2 because the boys got attached.
Yeah.
They just had another litter of 4, so we're trying to get rid of them as soon as they get old enough.
Okay.
Yeah, we got 8.
All right. Here's the word I want you to remember. There's 2 of them: spay and neuter. Or get them a TV or something. They're bored. The dogs are in there.
Was going to put on a diaper on them.
Yeah, man, that's a lot of dogs, man.
Want one? It's your birthday.
Something tells me that you're kind of a fun father to have. I bet there's a lot of fun going on in there. I can't imagine that many dogs in the house. That's cool.
Then I got our puppies.
What's your son's name right there?
Brandon.
Hey, Brandon, can you hear me? Brandon. Radio.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, is he a fun dad?
Yes.
I thought so. That's a good answer, but behind your back he's going, help me, I've been kicked. No. All right, well, listen, guys, what do you guys think? Should we wrap it up, or?
Yeah.
Bring up something. Let's go one by one, and if we haven't talked about something you want to talk about, I got a brand new can of Diet Coke. Let's rock.
I'll have 2 links on the side for the Sawyer. One's the main one, and one's for the one I want to get. Chat box there.
I see them. Awesome. Very cool.
Something I recently learned about is your IFAK kit. If you're going to run around with weapons and armor, you should have an IFAK. And you should have an IFAK first before you even consider anything else. I did it backwards. It's your individual first aid kit or your blowout kit.
Roger that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got, I can't think of it, Maxpedition. It's like a waistband or a waist pouch. And we use that for med pack. And then I got a med backpack, the 511 Rush 24.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing was you can have all that fancy stuff. I bought a fairly fancy middle-of-the-road one, the one that our GIs carried the short generation ago. I think they've either upgraded or done whatever they've done, and I've got the one that's that one removed. And then I realized, do I really even know how to use any of this stuff? That was the other thing. Buy maybe a couple of them and learn how to use it. Because when it happens, Yeah, you're not going to be able to think too well.
But even
Well,
if you don't know how to use it, there may be somebody around that does know how to use it.
Right,
So it's
hopefully.
always good to have.
Well, let me tailgate on that because those are great things. Long time and cheaper than dirt used to be one of my favorite places, but I've actually been going shopping at on the internet at oh God, what is it, man? It's Outdoorsman. But cheaper than dirt, they sell. If you haven't been to cheaper than dirt, has anybody not been there?
No, I haven't.
I've never bought anything there, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I like to scroll through sometimes just
You
to
should-
see what the rock bottom is.
Yes, you
Retail.
should send away for their catalog because it's good bathroom reading, and they
Yeah.
have like I bought a Stomp first aid thing, man. It's like for a whole like a platoon. I mean, and
Well, there
Yeah,
you
those
go.
are nice.
Yeah, if you can afford it, that's the one. I just bought it just for me so far.
well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you something because you brought up a good point about not knowing how to use it. I mean, I've got
Right.
scalpels and everything else. Okay, so what I did then was I ordered and received every the Ranger handbook.
Right,
all
there you
those
go. The
information.
TM manuals.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I started reading these things, and then I started watching videos too. And I'm going to tell you, this sounds crazy, but I am 1,000% sure, without any hesitation, that I could do a tracheotomy on somebody, and I could do it
Sure.
right. I'm so confident about it.
Right, that's what I was going to say. At least you're confident now, and then the skill, if it should come, it'll come.
Yeah, and if it's life or death, you gotta give it a shot. The other thing to do is what I would recommend is purchase. It's not cheap, but you can find it cheaper at some places. Is some of this miracle stuff that they're using on the battlefield, this quick clot.
Right, yeah, that's actually the thing they removed, I think, from, don't ask me why.
They
That's the
removed.
thing
got
that the
new
old
ones.
kits have that the new ones don't, for some reason. Hiberniacin, Irish, I don't know if anybody visits Irish S1.
No.
He just
No.
recently came back from his last tour, and he's a font of information. He's been there. He knows what's going on, and he is a certified paramedic, which I think is actually near a damn doctor. And
Yeah.
so he knows what he's talking about when he talks about this stuff.
Is that Irish S1?
Yeah, Irish is S1 in YouTube, or Hiberniacin. We just call him Irish, or Irish is S1. That sort of is, that Hiberniacin is his screen
My
name.
water is in there.
See if I can even spell that.
Yeah, but quick clot, super glue, all kinds of things to stop the bleeding. Those are
Right.
important things to have.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
the only thing that we don't know is what kind of stuff we put it back in, because you got to know what you're doing. So it's pretty much lick 'em and stick 'em with duct tape.
yeah, no, that's why you want to purchase it from it. You can buy blowout kits or IFAC kits. You can Google that, and there's people who know what they're doing.
Yep.
That'll sell it to you. In fact, they won't sell you the more advanced ones unless you have some sort of accreditation or certification that they can verify.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, in this age of information, there's an awful lot of
Yeah.
choices, a lot
Yeah.
of choices to make, and you can spend as little or as much as you want, on this
What
stuff.
I like to do is research this stuff, like the blowout kit, and I thought about it, and I went, wow, I don't have that. And here I am, if I do decide to run into the melee, which takes a certain amount of idiocy and daring anyway.
Or necessity.
Yeah, or necessity, right? However it should come down.
Yeah.
But without an IFAC kit, it's just like, it's like saying, yeah, nothing's going to happen to me. And that's just, I don't know if you've ever played paintball or any of these airsoft games.
Yeah.
Once you've done that, you realize it's going to happen,
Yeah, it's funny. Well, I was in my last job. That's what I did. I was a firearms and tactics instructor, and I
There you
incorporated.
go.
I was growing up, or when my kids were growing up, we were heavy into paintball. But
Right.
with the agency I was with, I used airsoft as my training. And man, you learn really quick. It's one thing to go
Easy.
but when you got a nice welt, to show for your mistake, you learn how that shit works. Another thing I do too, and I know it's almost an obsession, but it would appear morbid to the untrained eye. but every single week I go to military.com and I watch the videos of what's happening in terms of different, and I also watch a lot of this ice stuff, what's happening, because it's good to get a feel for what sorts of injuries are instantly fatal, which guys can survive these injuries, tactical screw-ups. Got just a group of guys trying to cross a street under fire. You can actually watch it and analyze it, and you can get information from that and pack it away. Like, I would do this, or I would do it, because you get the awesome ability to look at it from the safety of your home, third person. You're just watching this, and you can see the screw-ups all, and it just gets you thinking sort of in that mode.
The Haas USMC. There's another source.
Yeah. I've seen. I'm a subscriber of his.
He's not far from me. He's just south of me.
Oh wow! I've never met anybody from YouTube.
Yeah, the Haas is just south, and Hibernarison is just east of me.
Wow. Oh, well, I'm sure you guys have had these discussions. Yeah.
In one way or another through commenting, not like this.
Roger that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, is there anything we missed? Any questions you got? This is a good. A couple guys here have some great ideas, man. I mean, I can't thank you guys enough. I mean, I've learned a lot just from listening to you guys talk.
Yeah, I think it was fun. We ought to do it. Schedule another date for it if we can all find the time, and write down our little list in the interim of what we might want to talk about.
I like that.
I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know this was even going on until I got a little thing on my phone saying that you gave me an invite.
Yeah, I made we kind of rushed it a little bit. I mean, I made my last video, I kind of did a little thing where, hey, let's do a hangout. It was all kind of rushed, at least from my perspective. But now that we're signed in and we know it works and we know the invites work, maybe we got to do another. What do you think? What's a good time, you guys? I mean, like, should we wait a week, or you want to wait a couple weeks? What do you think?
I'm easy. I'm gonna get busy here in the future, but right now I'm wide open. So I don't know.
Fine for me.
Yeah.
I didn't hear her.
Yeah, my schedule's open.
Yeah, the weekends are great for me. I work nights during the week, but on Saturday, Sunday, I'm available.
What's better, Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday.
Sunday. All right.
I'm easy.
I'm pretty easy too. The only thing that I got going is I'm gonna have to, because here we're talking about the cabin. I got to get up there and make sure there's no mice in my cabin. One thing I've learned about property in the mountains: when you're not there, nature works very hard to reclaim their land. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like, if you're living there, it's fine. But if the property knows you're not living there, it starts eating away at the cabin. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, get a cat with a timed feeder. Actually, if you feed a cat, it will hunt more than if you don't.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. That's the data is in, I guess.
It's funny. I have a gun safe up there, and I don't have a lot of stuff in there because I'm not comfortable enough. Being from LA, the people up there
bury that sucker.
Yeah, they were shocked up there that I was putting locks on the door. I mean, out in that area, it's like nobody. I mean, it's something out of a movie. The people don't lock their doors. It's insane.
Right. Well, they'll just kick it in.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I have a note hanging on the safe, a big ass note, and it says,
"It's empty.
You've already broke my door. Inside this safe is just a little bit of ammunition and a pocket knife.
Okay.
Kindly don't screw up anything else that and close the door on the way out, asshole."
Yeah, right.
And hope to God that I don't. Yeah. P.S. Hope to God that I don't find out who you are.
Yeah, my wife was like that when I went up there in Pennsylvania. She had a real small town where she came from.
Yeah.
And we moved down there to Florida. It was like night and day. And I used to get mad at her because she'll keep the doors unlocked, the car unlocked. And up there, you could just leave the windows open in the house and you go shopping. No big deal. And I said, you can't do that down here.
It's unbelievable, man.
You could do that here. Leave your doors unlocked, leave the windows open. Nobody bothers anything.
I would never ever get used to this. I have so much man's inhumanity to man. I mean, with my luck, I'd get I could move to Mayberry RFD, and it would be the one time I left the window open that Barney took acid and would decide to go on a murder spree.
His psyche was permanently damaged by LA.
Yeah, that's believe me.
Yeah.
No doubt about it, man. So
But see, things are getting worse and worse. Being on the road, I noticed people they're not as nice, not as pleasant,
oh
and
no.
it's getting worse. So I can imagine if anything would happen, how bad it would even get.
Well, you can
Yeah.
feel it. You can feel it in the air. I mean, that's a whole other 2-hour subject. I mean, there's
Look
a
at the
whole
food. Watch
Yeah.
the food prices.
yeah. Well, there's that, and there's also
Yeah,
there's there's the actual feeling, man. Of I mean, I'm sure you felt it. The increase in time. It seems like time is speeding up. Not to get too esoteric, but I really feel like a palatable increase in the momentum of humanity, and I also feel this increasing pressure, man. And maybe it's just in my head,
that's
but
because you gotta go to the bathroom.
what's that?
That's your bladder telling you gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah, but you're right though. I think that if it ever did hit the fan, people are pissed, and there's the racial tensions are worse than I ever thought they would be. When I was a kid, I thought that would all be over with by the time I grew up, but it seems worse now than ever.
It
Yeah,
doesn't
sure
have
is.
to be that way.
Say
No.
again?
It doesn't have to be this way. It's an engineered, in my opinion,
Yeah.
which that's all it is, and I'm no expert.
No,
But
no.
my gut feeling tells me that we've never had it so good.
Yep.
We've never had so much potential to have it so good. And what's going on now is totally engineered down to the nth.
That's
It
right.
is. It's yeah.
And what's weird about that is, you start thinking of down those lines, and you could easily become, and you could see how easy it is to become just completely far to the, almost to the paranoid,
Yeah. Yeah.
because there's a certain truism there,
Yeah.
I mean, the reality is we are being manipulated, and the
Yeah.
reality
In
much-
2001, I arrived at work and went, that is a load of horseshit. And I remember being immediately ostracized by the mob. And it was a valuable lesson for me. Sort of, you may have a gut feeling. Now I've been validated somewhat. Only now, after all these years.
well,
But I remember then.
by other sources, you mean, that are saying the same thing?
Well, they're all but admitting that yes, it was an inside. Right now, they want us to believe that it was the Mossad agents or whatever. That's the official. If you've been following it, you got the 9/11 Architects for Truth.
Yes.
They've been right up at the forefront. You've got all this new information. If you go to Save America's Liberty, he's a junk man somewhere. He drives a junk truck. But his hobby is what we're talking about, and he really just scours. I don't know how he does it. He's really good at scouring the internet for information and then posting it up for you. And
I think Wuzu fell asleep.
if you check all this stuff out, there's just too much evidence to show that there was that a jetliner couldn't have. It's just not. It's impossible. I mean, you've had multiple airplane strikes on high-rise buildings all through history, and never that result, ever, not once. Plus, those two towers were designed to take multiple airline strikes. They were designed for that very thing, and then all of a sudden, burning jet fuel brings the entire structure down at free fall speed.
I've been
None of
around.
it makes sense.
I've been around long enough to know that when there's enough questions on something, then
Right.
there's always, it's never the way it's presented, because too many people have too many issues with it.
Our own government under the table is admitting yes, there's this, and this, which is still bullshit. They're still bullshitting us. We've yet to uncover the layers.
Well, let me tell you though, have you ever thought about the ramifications of society finding out for sure, without question, that our government is capable of that?
Right, and has been doing it all through history.
That's
And
a
I'm-
wonder to even imagine. I can't even tell you if I knew without a doubt that our government did that. I can't tell you what I would do. I mean, it's so far fetched, man.
We'd be in no position to do anything except forgive them and move on,
Well,
which is essentially what we're doing right now anyway.
That's what we're doing. Yeah, if you take 9/11 out of the equation, we're doing that with Benghazi. We're doing it with the IRS. We're doing it with all of this stuff.
Over and over. Hopefully that alleviates their fears. Hopefully they will one day be able to admit, and we can, move on with an actual, I don't want to say democracy, with an actual republic the way it was intended.
Man, I don't know, brother.
Yeah.
We are living in some strange times, and if I had to predict, I would say and I'll go the long haul. I'll say in 20 years, either this country's going to be so different, none of us here on this conversation would recognize it,
Right.
or it'll be repaired and it'll be back to the Constitution. Right. But there's
one of my hobbies is learning Mandarin. I'd highly suggest it. At least some real basic, childlike Mandarin.
Yeah, Shia.
Yeah, right. Ni hao, ni hao. Yeah. Learn all that stuff. I'm serious, because they own us. That's no secret.
Well, between that and what I believe is this, the Islam thing. If I had to pick the biggest fear, I know China's right up there, but I've got more concern. It's funny. Not that long ago, it seems like, but back when the whole thing started in the Middle East after 9/11, I heard my very first video for the first time.
Right.
The first time I heard somebody say Allah Akbar, and they were talking about, their beliefs where they were going to fly the flag of Al Qaeda over the White House. I laughed like an ignorant dude. I was like, those old Stone Age rock throwers ain't coming. Man, I ain't laughing anymore. Because
I don't think Islam isn't the problem. It's just like, imagine them looking at us and their government's showing them skinheads and all our radical groups.
Right.
That's not us. That isn't us. And it's the same thing over there. It's just this little group of freaks getting all the attention, and that's not that's not Islam. It's got nothing to do with Islam. Just like the skinheads have nothing to do with mainstream America. They really don't.
Right. Well, it's used, a lot of that shit is, see, the thing is we can't believe anything because we know for sure that the media is not legit. So, you're bombarded with so much that it keeps you distracted from seeing reality.
That is the spooky thing, and you alluded to that. That is spooky, that whole
it's like, what's going on that we're not paying attention to? You remember the old movie? Right. What was that old movie with the wrestler, the old wrestler?
Rodney Piper, They Live.
Yeah. And, you talk about ahead of its time.
Yeah, absolutely.
That thing was so far ahead of its time because that's kind of what I mean, not literally. I don't think there's people with robot faces walking around, but
it's a poetic metaphor.
Yeah, that's right. That and what was the other one that was ahead of its time? The first Wolverines.
Oh right, sure, absolutely.
Wow.
The one that you cried, it made you cry. Yeah.
Red Dawn.
Red Dawn, yeah.
Red Dawn, right.
Man, that's crazy. Well, we are living in some interesting times, and I just hope I live long enough to see what how it plays out.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
I don't know.
I'm glad my grandparents didn't live to see this because it's so different now. But
that's what I tell my kids. When as they're growing up, there's nothing like my grandparents or my parents. I think they're the last generation where everything was really good, and then it started going downhill from there.
Well, think about it, man.
Never perfect. It's never been perfect, even for your grandparents had it. It was rough, man.
Well, every generation, generation has its time and its challenge, and this is ours. Whatever the thing is, they can identify theirs easier. Ours is very hard to identify because it's very covert and it's covered in a lot of deception. There they had the Axis versus the Allies. I mean, it was horrific, but it was very identifiable. My thing is, the fact that I've said this before on some tapes, I mean, and this freaks me out, man, to think that I am probably, and it's hard for me to even say it, but I am probably on a government list just because of some of the videos I've made.
Oh, sure.
And, but do you realize how heartbreaking that is? I mean, and I hate to sound ignorant, but I mean, I have always wanted to be one of the good guys. And it's dawned on me that, man, I was on the
find out where your local fusion center is and go knock on the door and ask for the tour. You know about ride-alongs. You're probably given ride-alongs. It's the same thing.
Yeah, but they won't,
ask to be given the tour.
But come on, man. It's just like the Freedom of Information Act. You can send a waiver for that on yourself, but they won't give you the true thing. It'll all be redacted, and you'll never know. I mean,
sure, but at least you'll get the you'll get the party line. You'll get what their program, and that can tell you a lot.
Yeah,
just looking at a guy and how he,
yeah.
You know,
that's
sure they won't allow
scary.
you to video or anything, but at least you get the tour and you can talk about, I went on the tour. They're human. They're this. They have sons and daughters. They, some of them are nervous. It's a weird world.
It is very weird. Yeah, and it's not.
Worse.
Some of these things have visited us before in the past. I hate to always refer back to Nazi Germany, but when you look at, what was going on, the dynamics over there. There's a lot of similarities. I mean, the Germans that lived around within, smelling distance of the smokestacks, just lived their lives and just kind of, they didn't openly acknowledge what was going on, because what could they do about it in their mind? And look how horrific it turned out to be. I mean,
we live in smelling distances of the tent cities. Every time I go up to downtown and look at the tent cities, and look at the people that are just in that, caught in that, and that is what a rough place to be.
Wow.
It's not quite the same as World War II.
Right.
But man, there it is right there in today and now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wow, man. It's just a strange shit going on today, and I know that I've had to actually think. I mean, I never would have imagined that I would have to go through these scenarios in my head. What would you do if the door came flying in and it was today's version of the SS saying, "Hey, you got to come with us to the," that ain't happening.
You might have to go. There's the mindset thing. You may just have to go.
Well, yeah, but there's certain things, I can tell you this without any bravado. There are certain things I've made up my mind a long time ago that I won't do.
There's your line in the sand that you're talking about.
Yeah, that just won't happen, because I'm just not able to. No way. I would never submit to that kind of thing, because I watched too many videos of and read too many books of, and my father's side of the family was Jewish, and we had a grandpa that had the number on his arm. He was 15 when he was liberated.
He went.
Yeah, and the thing is I realize, that I will never, ever be walked out of my house and into a cattle car or a van. It's just not in the dark, and it's not going to happen.
That's American.
Yeah.
Now that's American. Yeah. And they want to push that out of us. I mean, talk to the kids today. They just look at you like you're a freak from outer space when you talk about this stuff. You are a total nut job.
Do you ever watch Fox News?
I avoid the TV set now. I don't even. I go to YouTube. I go to the Screamer Alex Jones. Yeah. I go to Full Spectrum Survival. There's quite a few. You gotta. The guy, what's his name, who's pretty, you gotta kind of, what does the Bible say? You gotta use your not discretion, but your, I'm at a loss for that word. Wisdom. You gotta use your wisdom, but that isn't it either. But
Grab the stuff and put it inside.
By the name of Waters, and it's so does this thing, and they do it more as a spoon. They think it's funny on Fox, and it makes me nauseous. But about once a week, he'll go to college campuses. He'll just stop people and say, hey, who were we fighting in World War II? And these people.
Right, Mark something.
Well,
Mark.
No, not that guy. I know who you're thinking of. This is a Fox.
He's copying Mark. Okay, he's imitating him.
Doing the same thing, and these people will say, we were fighting Vietnam, we were fighting, Canada, and everybody thinks it's funny, and it makes me want to projectile vomit. This is,
the subtle programming.
And this is how you do it. You take an entire generation and rewrite or take away certain history things.
Right.
And I'm telling you, man, young people have no idea what they're setting themselves up for by allowing themselves to be ignorant. And how do they know?
They don't know anybody. You can't blame them. They have no frame of reference.
Yeah, it's very scary, man.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't want to be here to see how it all plays out. Wow.
Sure you do. You're alive for. We're all alive for a reason.
Yeah, well, that's as long as I can.
Yeah.
All right, amigos. Does anybody have last words before I drop the sign?
Look forward to it.
No, not really.
I'll look forward to the next time.
All right. Well, listen.
Yeah, really.
If you don't have a suggestion, you want me to just come up with a date and then
You can just send out an invite again at your own leisure. Don't put.
Who gets these invites? Do you guys have to follow me? How do you get
Do what?
the invites? How do you get them? Is it because you're following me on LMS?
Yeah, the earlier you send it out, the more times I can share it with I got 2,500 people in my thing. The more time, so who am I hitting? Maybe 25 of those 2,500 every time I click.
Nice. All right, I'll pick a. Who said Sunday? Woozle, you said Sunday, right? So pick a Sunday.
Okay, they're both for me.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, thanks a lot for showing up.
Okay, thank you.
It was
Thanks for
fun.
the invite. This is good.
It was a good time, you guys. Be safe.
Yeah. Thanks a
You
lot.
too.
Man.
Okay.